Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. All the students who are watching this are requested to take a notebook and a pen. So उम्मीद है आप लोग उतने ही सीरियसनेस के साथ मुझे सुनोगे जितना सीरियसनेस के साथ क्लास में सुनते हो. First thing you are supposed to do is read the question carefully, write down the data, then solve along with me. तो ये वीडियो देखने से पहले उम्मीद है आप लोग एक बार ट्राई कर चुके होंगे. कोई भी डाउट हो तो इस वीडियो में क्लियर होगा. इसके बाद भी अगर डाउट हो तो मार्क दोज क्वेश्चंस, विल डिस्कस दोज क्वेश्चंस वंस अगेन इन द क्लासरूम. ठीक है. So the question says the radius of gyration, that is k, of a solid sphere of mass 5 kg about xy is 5 meter as shown in the figure. Figure is not given. Let me write it. ये probably module में भी missing है. This is a solid sphere and this is along the tangent. ठीक है. So what are the things that they have mentioned? Mass is 5 kg and radius of gyration is 5 meters, and this is a solid sphere and that is along the tangent. तो मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इसका बनेगा ICM is equals to 7/5 mr square. 7/5 mr square, and this value will be equals to mk square. अब इसको सिंप्लीफाई करो. मास गेट्स कैंसिल, तो रेडियस इज गिवन. मुझे इस शक्ल में लाना है इसको. तो आर स्क्वेयर इज इक्वल्स टू 7/5 को उस तरफ लो तो बन जाएगा 5/7 के स्क्वायर. देन आर विल बी इक्वल्स टू अंडर रूट 5/7 के. तो ये वैल्यू हो गई रूट 5/√7. द वैल्यू ऑफ के इज गिवन एज 5 and this value should be equal to the given value in the question, that is 5x/√7. 5x/√7. अब दोनों वैल्यूज को कंपेयर करो, you'll get the value of x. √7 is common, 5 is common, तो x की जगह पे है √5. ठीक है. Now the next question. The moment of inertia of a thin rod. First thing that they have mentioned, it's a thin rod. About the tangent or about the center? About the midpoint it is. This will be like this. The moment of inertia of a thin rod about the center, this we have derived in the class. ml square by 12. तो values क्या क्या देकर है? One is ICM, moment of inertia देकर है. दूसरा mass. Now substitute all the values in this formula. 2400 is equals to m is 400 into L square by 12. Zeros get cancels out. 4 once 6 times. 6 into 12 will be 72. Now, how are we supposed to calculate the square root of 72? L is equals to under root 72. This 72 lies between 64 and 81. तो 64 का square root है 8, 81 का square root है 9. Then root 72 should lie exactly between, I mean not exactly between, somewhere between 8 and 9. And there is only one value which is satisfying, that is 8.5. ठीक है. ये होगा नीट का क्वेश्चन. अगर यही क्वेश्चन अगर जे में पूछेगा, then the options will be very different. All the options will be very close to the answer, that is 8.5. Options होंगे like 8.5, 8.9, 8.4. तब ये चीज काम नहीं आएगी. Then we are supposed to calculate the exact value of root 72. Calculate कैसे करना है? Root 70 को पहले लिखो root of nearest perfect square which is 64 plus remaining. ठीक है. ये 64 का स्क्वायर रूट ले लो 8 प्लस इस स्क्वायर रूट जो निकाला है उसका डबल 16. पहली चीज 64 प्लस 8, 64 का स्क्वायर रूट है 8, उसको डबल करके साइड में लिख लो 16. नाउ वॉट एवर इज लेफ्ट ओवर 8, इस 8 को इस डबल वाले नंबर से डिवाइड कर दो. Then 8 ones, 8 twos. 1/2 will be 0.5. Answer is exactly 8.5. हियर वी कैन सी दैट। तो इस केस में कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं रहेगा बिल्कुल भी, इवन इफ द ऑप्शंस आर वेरी क्लोज। ठीक है, नाउ रीड द नेक्स्ट वन। द रेडियस ऑफ गायरेशन ऑफ a solid sphere of mass m radius r about its own axis to the radius of gyration of a thin hollow sphere of the same mass and radius about the axis is. So we are supposed to calculate, there are two spheres. One is solid, इसके रेडियस ऑफ गायरेशन को ks मानेंगे. One is hollow, तो इसके रेडियस ऑफ गायरेशन को मानेंगे kh, so that we should not have any confusion. So moment of inertia, if you are not able to remember, so you can go to moment of inertia. From there you can calculate radius of gyration. तो solid sphere का radius of solid sphere का moment of inertia है 2/5 mr square. 2/5 mr square, and this will be 2/3 mr square. तो how are we supposed to calculate k? दोनों तरफ से mm कैंसिल कर दो, बचे हुए वैल्यूज का स्क्वायर रूट निकालना है. So this will be root of 2/5 r is to root of 2/3 r. If you want to make it simpler, root 2 r gets cancelled. Root 5 is to root 2 by root 3. Root 2 gets cancelled. This will become 1 by root 5 is to 1 by root 3. We have learnt in mathematical tools that 1 by a is to 1 by b will be exactly equals to b is to a. Then इस केस में 1 by root 5 is to 1 by root 3 will become root 3 is to root 5. तो आंसर क्या आ गया? root 3 is to root 5. तो अब कंफ्यूजन है ये कि आंसर तो है root 3 is to root 5, but none of the options are matching. तो बच्चे क्या समझेंगे? Probably they have asked k1 is to k1 square is to k2 square. नहीं, this will never be equals to 3 is to 5. These options are wrong. So in 2023 it was considered grace. मॉड्यूल में प्रॉब्ली मार्क भी कराया, अगर मार्क नहीं किया तो मार्क दिस क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इन इन्फिनिट कॉर्नर 2023 एज ग्रेस. ठीक है, नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. A solid sphere of mass m and radius r, solid sphere of mass m and radius r is rotating about its diameter. A solid cylinder of the same mass, one is a solid sphere, the other is a solid cylinder. ठीक है, rotating about its geometrical axis at an angular speed twice. Angular speed is twice that of the sphere. We are supposed to calculate this kinetic energies. Okay, so this is how we are supposed to solve. Kinetic energy of sphere by kinetic energy of cylinder. This will be equals to half mv square. m की जगह पे आएगा inertia of sphere, I mean moment of inertia of sphere, omega angular velocity of sphere. Then half m की जगह पे आएगा moment of inertia of cylinder, angular velocity of cylinder का square. So but what they have mentioned is angular velocity of cylinder is twice that of velocity of the sphere. Now substitute all the values. एक चीज तो सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं, half of gets cancelled but none of the remaining values will be get cancelled, all are different. तो moment of inertia of a sphere will be what? 2/5 mr square into this will be as it is omega square मान के चलो, या omega s square, not an issue. Then IC, I mean cylinder, moment of inertia of a cylinder is half mr square into, so this will be equals to 2 times of ws, sorry omega s, 2 times of omega s ka square. So what are the things that we can cancel here? Mr square, mr square. ठीक है. Now remaining will be 2 by 5 omega s square, then 1 by 2 into 2 square will be 4 into omega s square. These two will get cancelled. 2 1 times, 2 2 times. तो बचा क्या? 2 by 5 into 1 by 2. So this will be equals to 1 is to 5. तो सर straight away question substitutions सिर्फ इतना ही है. The only thing that you are supposed to do is to remember the moment of inertia of different geometrical figures. और एक चीज, जब इक्वेशन सॉल्व कर रहे हो मॉड्यूल अपने सामने रख के बैठो. ठीक है. Probably the last question of the video. This I hope we didn't solve in the class. जब कभी भी here 2016 या 2025 देखे, you have to be very alert. These questions will be way more tougher than almost JEE mains. ठीक है, तो ध्यान से सुनो. एक तो है the light rod, a light rod of length L has two masses m1 and m2 attached to its two ends. Mass of the rod will not be considered because it's a light rod. The moment of inertia of the system about its axis perpendicular to the rod passing through the center of mass is. तो पहले डायग्राम बना लो, चीजें क्लियर कर लेते हैं. Imagine this is a thin rod and here there is a mass m1, here there is a mass m2. मान लो इसका सेंटर ऑफ मास यहाँ कहीं है. This will be r1, this will be r2, and this is the axis of rotation perpendicular to the length of the rod. ठीक है. So according to the very simple formula, the basic formula, moment of inertia, so what we have calculated, I is equals to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square. ठीक है. But here nothing is mentioned. Both the masses are equal. All those things are not mentioned. So these are some arbitrary masses, random masses. तो इसीलिए अब हर एक वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करना बनता ही बनता है. ध्यान से देखो. Now what we can do is here this r1 is equals to, ध्यान रखो, याद रखो फॉर्मूला, ऑपोजिट साइड वाला मास m2 by total mass m1 plus m2 into L. दोबारा से r1 is equals to opposite side वाला mass divided by total mass into the length given. Similarly, r2 is equals to opposite side वाला mass will be m1, total mass will be m1 plus m2 into length. Now substitute all the values in this. Let me write it here. I is equals to m1 r1 square, r1 की जगह पे आएगा m1 by m1 plus m2 into L का whole square plus m2 into m1, this is m2, m1 by m1 plus m2 into L का whole square. Now what are the things that we are supposed to take common here? m1 plus m2 and L, m1 plus m2 and L is common everywhere with a square. तो उसको सेपरेट बाहर निकाल लो पहले. L square by m1 plus m2 whole square. अब यहां पे बचा क्या? m1 m2 का स्क्वायर प्लस दिस m2 एंड दिस m1 का स्क्वायर. अब इन दोनों में क्या कॉमन है? m1 m2 कॉमन है. m1 m2 अगर कॉमन लिया तो बचा क्या? m2 यहां पे प्लस m1 यहां पे into this value 1 by m1 plus m2 whole square into L square. Let me zoom in. This m1 plus m2 and this m1 plus m2 will get cancels out. What is remaining here? m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into L square. So this is option A. So this is pure mathematical solution. The shortcut, if you really want to do, one small thing you can do is, listen carefully, consider, there's no space, let me erase this as of now. Answer the quota. We are considering m1 is equals to m2 is equals to r, not r, m, and r1 is equals to r2. R1 is equals to R2. If R1 is equals to R2, then this will be exactly equals to L by 2. अब ये वाला इक्वेशन ले लो. I is equals to M L by 2 square plus M L by 2 square. This will be ML square by 4 plus ML square by 4. ये क्या हो जाएगा? ML square by 2. तो ये जो ऑप्शन है इसमें सब्स्टिट्यूट करके देखो m1 m2 as m, this will be m square L by 2m. M gets cancelled, this will be m by 2 into L square. ठीक है, ये दूसरा सोल्यूशन है, alternate solution. You can call it a shortcut also, not a shortcut, common sense वाला method. And one more is you can only check the dimension. Dimension of moment of inertia will be mass into length ka square. Mass into length ka square. So that you'll get in only one option. Actually, two options, A and C. This one you are supposed to do. सिर्फ डायमेंशन चेक करना है. डायमेंशन शुड बी इक्वल टू एम एल स्क्वायर, दैट इज के जी मीटर स्क्वायर. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया का डायमेंशन ये है. ये डायमेंशन सिर्फ दो ऑप्शन में मिलेगा, दैट इज ऑप्शन ए एंड ऑप्शन सी. हाउ टू एलिमिनेट द ऑप्शंस? सिंस यू आर डीलिंग विद things which are not in the ratio 1:1, then definitely a fraction should be there, but that is not there in C. Then the answer has to be A. दोबारा से मैं बता रहा हूँ, एक तो है पहला मैथमेटिकल सोल्यूशन, दूसरा है शॉर्टकट या कॉमन सेंस वाला मेथड. यू हैव टू सपोज टू कंसिडर m1 इज इक्वल्स टू m2, r1 इज इक्वल्स टू r2 इज इक्वल्स टू l by 2. तो इससे भी आंसर आ जाएगा. एंड वन मोर इजियर वे इज यूनिट्स एंड डायमेंशंस. चेक द डायमेंशंस ऑफ ईच वैल्यू. यू आर सपोज टू कैलकुलेट मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया का यूनिट है kg मीटर स्क्वायर, देन डायमेंशन विल बी ml स्क्वायर. द डायमेंशन ml स्क्वायर यू विल गेट ओनली इन टू ऑप्शंस A एंड C. पहला दो ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट हो गए. नेक्स्ट विल बी दिस R1 एंड R2 आर नॉट इक्वल. अगर ये इक्वल होते तो फ्रैक्शन नहीं आता. सिंस दे आर नॉट इक्वल, देन देयर हैज टू बी अ फ्रैक्शन, देन देयर हैज टू बी अ रेशियो दैट इज there only in option A. So hope you understood. If you have any doubt, mark it out in the module. We'll discuss once again in the classroom. See you people in the next video. Allah Hafiz.